I'm just popping in here real quick because I ain't been in here in how long. Good evening, folks. The new year is upon us. Christmas is past, and big hoopty ding dong. I'm not kidding. To me, it's like Christmas these days is just another day. It's a holiday where I get to sit at home for a week, and as you all saw, I did get one of the audios done. I'm working on Murder of Chateauneuf Chapter 6 right now. And I don't even know if anybody's up this late anywhere. But I thought I'd pop in and just say hello. And there was a lot of folks going, how come there's been no Omega file? Hang on, I see this thing's there because... Hang on, let me move this out of the way here. I only use that thing where I'm doing voiceover work, and it really does help. But why has there been no trailer reaction from this channel? And I'm like, what is there to react to? Thank you, Ashley, for sending that. The reason why I didn't react is because it's all stuff I've been telling you for months. We knew about the Meeps and the Wraith, or however you pronounce it, Wararth, for, heck, since like July. And it didn't really reveal anything that we haven't, seen before. Sadly, as much as I'd like to agree with you, Trekopedia, as far as I know, they are not airing anything till November. And like I said, I'm still banging my head. They even showed once again the scene with Shooty go, I need to know what's going on, the hell's going on here. And it's the fake background still because it'll be too spoilery to review, what is in the actual background. And that's why I didn't really talk about it, because I'd just be repeating myself. Plus the fact that I'm dying laughing that people saying that bringing things back from the classic era is just too nostalgic and things like that, yet the Meeps and the Wraiths come from the comic books. And the only reason I knew about them is because I had done a little bit of research here and there. So that's why I'm not really all that excited about it. There's really nothing to be excited about because... Oh, hang on a second. Let's make this a little bigger, because I'm not going to show the trailer again. I have it there in the background, but there was just nothing to react to. Other than, here guys, dance little puppets. You won't be singing any of this for another 11 months. But so that's why I wasn't too excited about it. That's why I didn't really want to react to it. I didn't even want to waste the crew's time on doing an Omega Files about it. Me and Fallout have split up for a while. I've been replaying Days Gone because I don't think it's just going to be modern day London, because if it was just a background of modern day London, then they'd have let that slip. That really would not have been any major spoiler type thing. My big theory is it might be the interior of the new TARDIS, because like I said, we don't know when that footage was shot that got leaked out of the new TARDIS. So, but we do know from the concept drawings that it was Tenet in that TARDIS. But of course, the last remnants of the old Republic have been swept away because, RTD is going to ride in on his magic unicorn and save us all. Or he'll fly in on his gallant rainbow-colored Pegasus of, pure plot magic. And like I said, this is the same guy who wrote Miracle Day, okay? He has a lot of great writing, but at the same time, when we last saw him, he was burning out. And I'd like to remain optimistic and think, okay, he's taken some time off, because some of the scripts that didn't get made for like Sarah Jane Adventures, if you don't know this, wound up over on Wizards versus Aliens. Ugh. I know, trust me, I'm ticked off as well about that. They should have spaced out these specials. They had them filmed months ago. They're done in the can and ready to be aired. They should be all through post and effects by now. But no, we're going to sit on them. And as much as I used to bash on the Moffat a bit, at least till I realized what kind of political monster he was up against, at least he backed up part of the one season so we'd have something to watch during the spring, knowing full well you're only going to get, the episodes later in the year. BBC ain't even bothering to do that. And, well, as far as we know, Tennant's only in it for the specials. Saeed, we already know that. Tennant's out of there after the specials. He's done. They started filming the quote-unquote holiday event, before. And I can't figure out for the life of me why they even bothered starting the film this year. Yeah, originally the plan was they were going to start in November. Then they wound up starting in December. And then immediately after, they're on break for over a month. So, I know, like I said, I'm upset about it as well. They should have just spaced it out like they did with the Tenet specials, before. That way you weren't waiting, almost a year. Or in our case, it's going to be over a year because, Power of the Doctor was the last thing we got. And then they throw out a 1-minute trailer and I'm supposed to be excited. I'm like, yay, you showed me a bunch of stuff I already knew. A bunch of characters I've already seen. The same scene over with Shooty that you've already said is a fake background. And that's a good piece of deduction there. You had to get the tax credits. I like that. I know. I saw Tom Baker trending again today, and I flipped out because I'm like, no, don't tell me, just before New Year's. He was like, quit screwing around with New Year's Eve. Don't do that to me. But Twitter has become such a moronic joke. It's even worse than it used to be. Ever since the Musk moved in. Now anybody could get a check or a verification or what you call it if you send him some money. And it used to be that stuff was to make sure, the person sending it was the person, saying it. Now it's, And then he wonders why King basically gave him the finger and walked away. Because it's like, like you said, you should be paying me to be on this thing. And I explained to somebody earlier, the only reason I'm staying on Twitter is some of my contacts are on Twitter. And so I got to keep my eye on that, as well as other things on Twitter. So that's the only reason I stayed there. But yeah, I agree with you. Every time I see Tom Baker's name trending, I start freaking out because I'm like, no, don't do this to me. Not this time of year, I lost my dad on December 31st, 2014. Don't make me, really hate New Year's around that time. With Tom going around the same time. No. Ugh. Sorry, I'm getting caught up on the chat here real quick. But yeah, like I said, I'm... Well, a lot of people assume that was Matt Smith in a tux, and it's like, no, that's Neil Patrick Harris, who... I died laughing because there were guys joking about that, and I'm like, dude, Neil Patrick Harris is a lot more than Doogie Howser. This guy's been nominated for multiple awards. He's been in multiple movies. He's an A-list star and a hell of a dancer, from what I'm told. And so, but like I said, it didn't show us anything new. It didn't show us anything we haven't seen already. So why should I get excited and do a cast about it?
Hi, people!
Get out. This is a Dr. Freedom show.
I had to say hi.
And weren't you supposed to start your own show like 100 years ago?
I don't have time right now, jerk. I'll get it started sooner or later.
More likely it's a BBC decision. A lot of people harp on showrunners about how certain things work. And scheduling is a whole different department. It's not under the showrunner's purview per se. They can offer you things and say, well, would you like to do this? And then they'll say, you know, like when everybody was throwing a fit because Chibnall wouldn't do a Christmas special the one year. Yet, after he did how many years and he did Flux right through COVID, it's the worst writing ever. Jody got bad writing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because every single script went, just like every single script under Moffat, went through Moffat. And every single script, went through Chibnall. Yeah, Chibnall wrote everything secretly. All the names were made up. But like I said, to me, it was just another series of seasons. And what's equally disturbing me is everybody's just passively accepting the fact that you're getting 8 episodes. And I'm like, well, we'd rather have quality than quantity. Yeah, but what if I give you 8 totally shit episodes? You see what I mean? It doesn't mean that they're going to be any better because there's fewer of them. They were really knocking it out of the ballpark back in the day, when we had 13 in a Christmas special. There was quite a few good episodes in there. Of course, Tenet had its growing pains, but then, of course, every era has its share of duds. It happens to everybody. So I thought I'd stop in. Like I said, I'm off till this coming Tuesday. I forgot we have the 2nd off as well. Because they know they're going to be, I don't know why. I mean, yeah, so I can't remember why we get that day, but my loyal cats, they would never attack me. Sure, Oreo runs me over in my sleep, and Sophie stand here and yell at you. Well, they're claiming there's going to be no more long breaks, but what did they start off with? A year break. I'm like, And I was really expecting more from RTD, this new budget. The fact they got Disney Plus on board. I was expecting them to go back to at least 12 episodes. And yeah, it was kind of obvious about the Meeps. We saw them right there, back in July on picture. So it's not like they could hide them. Here's the thing. Now, I'm not exactly sure what's going on because from what I've heard, I have a friend of mine who has applied possibly for a position at Big Finish. Not going to say who, not going to say how, or who they talk to. But the one person there they spoke with said some things. And like I said, I don't want to get too specific. But I ain't holding up too much hope for that because, all right, we got Matt Smith is now doing House of the Dragon. Peter Capaldi is doing Devil's Hour. But they were seen in that area. There are pictures of Capaldi with Rachel Talalay last summer, if I remember right. Or was it spring? There was pictures of Matt Smith with his hair done the same way as it used to be. So it's a possibility, because if they want to do something like they did with Power of the Doctor, it's very easy to do. Like Doctors 5, 6, and 7 were all on set together doing their bits individually, but Doctor 8 was not there. He did his in front of a green screen and was added in later. So that's why you don't see Paul McGann in the photos, the group photos for that particular shoot. So it wouldn't be that difficult. Plus, Chibnall did say the reason why he didn't touch on any of the modern Doctors in Power of the Doctor was something that was going to be done in the 60th anniversary the following year, or something relating to that. So we can only hold out hope that they'll at least get a cameo shot here and there. Like I said, I got one person saying Capaldi's done with Doctor Who. And it's not because of the way Moffat handled things. It was the way that the BBC handled the show that he didn't like. And we've heard that same thing from Eccleston, but Eccleston did eventually turn up, so you never know. I've also heard they've already been in talks with Jodie Whittaker, and she's looking more and more like, they just got to get her to sign on the dotted line. So we're going to hopefully hear from that. Matt Smith is... Oh. So you're stuck with the dud man if you want Matt Smith. Let me see, 8 episodes of one-offs. Well, I'm assuming we're going to be, is RTD? Yeah, you're right. Going to bother to do an overarching, an over episode arc, story arc. That's a good question. Okay, like I said, I've heard from one source that Matt is distancing himself from the character, which doesn't surprise me any. Because if you could find one time he was on set that, he did any pictures or signed autographs for fans while he was on set, I'll gladly shake your hand and take back everything bad I've said about him. But you're likely not going to. He had nothing to do with the fans when he was on set, unlike Tennant, Capaldi, Jodie Whittaker, and, I'm not sure about, Eccleston, a lot of his stuff was done in secret, but I can tell you for a fact Eccleston, later on was happily signing stuff for fans and taking selfies and stuff with them for free. So, but you have to remember, I really wish I can't remember if it was on that hard drive that died. I've told you that story a couple times where I had a hard drive burn out right here on the desk in front of me. I'd really have to do some digging to even see if I still have the clip. But it was before the 60th anniversary. Matt Smith was already cycling around L.A. looking for a way out. If he'd had his way, he'd have ditched the show before the 50th, Sorry, 50th anniversary. It was a paycheck. And sure, he acts all nice and all that in conventions, but... I'm not sure what Chudy's contract is. Like I said, getting info out of Bad Wolf Studios is going to be like pulling teeth on a rabid Wolverine. It literally is, because I don't have anybody in there just yet. Yeah, it was a paycheck to him. That's all it was. I hate to say it, but like I said, a lot of people wonder why I'm, so down on certain people. That's because the way they treated fans. And I got this on first-hand accounts from people who were there. So, just like certain other, actresses, whose name I won't mention, who, would tell fans she'd be out in a half hour, go into a building, and then their assistant has to come out a few minutes later and tell them she left a half hour ago. People have been standing outside waiting an hour or more because she told them she'd be back out to sign autographs and stuff like that, and she went out the back door. Somebody who didn't have anything to do with the fans, so a certain older gentleman started dragging them over. Sorry. I have never seen anything confirming that rumor. I think the reason why they bring them back every year is just because that way they, look, we've paid for it already for the year. Let's go ahead and have them in there. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, we're talking about Millie Gibson? That worries me. You see, the problem is, you got folks out there who seem to think that, their asses are lined in gold and they fart magical rainbows of beautiful colors that everyone should admire. And don't realize that it's the fans who put you on that pedestal. And sadly, some of us out there, like I said, I've only had, very rarely have I seen a celebrity in person where I could tell that they didn't give a shit less that I was there or not. And I won't give any names, but it's happened like maybe twice before. You can just tell by the look in their eyes they don't want to be anywhere near you. They just want your money. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, all right, I have to look that up. Which one's Candace Patton? Is that Iris? Trichopedia? Because if it is, I've heard stories about her. Yep. Yeah, I've heard stories about her. Trust me. Yeah, I've heard some really unkind things about that particular actress. But sadly, Flash ends this year. That's going to be an official end of the Arrowverse because DC's pulled the plug on just about everything except Peacemaker. And now we got to sit and wonder what's going on with that because, they're basically going to try to reboot their entire universe again. Yeah, it's really sad. A lot of people wouldn't believe me when I told them, yeah, Faye Marseille was up for that role. And then they decided to have her Jenna back again. And it's like, I don't know. It's kind of sad that, a couple of the companions there wound up once again becoming immortal super beings with, time traveling powers and stuff like that. Or the fact that you got a companion who learned how to fly a Type 40 TARDIS in like 5 minutes on the screen. Whereas, at least with, Yaz, you had a history, so there was time passing there. So you can say, yeah, plus, the doctor was showing her how to do this and that. Whereas, oh, here we are. And there have been companions before. There is precedent for companions who could operate the TARDIS. And that was like Adric could. Sheesh, I'm going back a ways. I think Turlo took a crack at it. Doc was trying to teach Tegan and Nis, I believe, as well. Just going off the top of my head. I'm saying I'm not even looking in the old research file, so you may want to double check that. But and it's kind of, well, Romana already knew how. You got to remember, Romana, of course, was a time lady. Romana Dravattolunder. I can never pronounce that weird. It's weird. So, well, folks, it's coming up on a half hour. I just wanted to sit down and talk with you and say, yeah, that's the reason why I didn't bother to gather everybody and have an Omega Files, because it's all stuff we already knew. They just confirmed it was all Meeps versus Wraiths, which is right out of one of the comics. They haven't really confirmed, NPH as the toy maker, but there was a comment by Nick Briggs about the current incarnation of the Doctor being the result of a celestial intervention. So, I just want to let you know what's going on with all that. I'm going to cut on out of here. We're going to do some traveling tomorrow. So, also, I want to let you know, I'm still alive. Parking Lot will be back this coming Tuesday for you folks who tune in for that. So I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas out there. I hope you all have a Happy New Year. It's that time where we have to start smacking ourselves across, smacking our hands. Remember, it's not 2022 anymore. It's 2023 when that comes up. Yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed Arrow, and then they started trying to bring that futuristic Arrow series. That was actually supposed to be a pilot for a future Arrow series, yet they won't do a Batman Beyond. Which they could have tied that to, and it might have been interesting. And Batwoman, of course, fell apart. Like I said, it's just the main villain did it for me. I got sick and tired of that villain. Oh, well, I got to get going. Take care, everybody. Be kind, be calm, be safe. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. I hope you have a Happy New Year if I don't see you before then. And I'm going to run on out of here for the evening. So take care, everyone. We'll catch you all on the flip side.